Welcome, fellow gardeners. If you are living in climate zone 10, a region characterized by frost-free winters, warm subtropical climates, and long blazing summers, then April is your decisive golden window. This is a beautiful transitional period when the winter chill has completely retreated, making way for steadily rising temperatures. What you prepare and put into the ground this April will determine the success or failure of your entire garden throughout the upcoming summer. Let's dive deeply into the essential steps to master this growing season. The first step to mastering the April growing season involves careful climate measurement and foundational soil preparation. The success of a garden doesn't begin when you sow the seeds, but when you truly understand your environment and prepare the earth. Understanding Zone 10 temperatures in April is crucial. At this time of year, daytime air temperatures usually maintain an ideal range of 22 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius, while nights drop to a cool 15 degrees Celsius to 18 degrees Celsius. However, in gardening, soil temperature is the ultimate deciding factor for germination. As the sun shines for more than 10 hours a day, the soil begins to accumulate heat and crosses the 18 degrees Celsius threshold, the perfect temperature to awaken heat-loving seeds. To get ready, improve your soil structure because after winter, the soil can become compacted. Loosen the topsoil about 15 to 20 centimeters deep and mix in a generous amount of well-rotted compost. Compost not only provides nutrients, but also acts like a giant sponge, helping the soil retain moisture much better when the harsh summer hits. Next, check the drainage capacity. Spring showers can waterlog roots if soil drainage is poor, so ensure your planting beds are mounded up or your containers have adequate drainage holes. Finally, establish a protective mulch layer by spreading straw, wood chips, or shredded dry leaves about 5 to 7 centimeters thick over all exposed soil surfaces. This acts as a shield that prevents water from evaporating too quickly, cools the plant roots, and blocks nutrient-competing weeds. The second step focuses on tailoring your planting strategies and understanding harvest timelines. April in Zone 10 is the starting line for high heat-loving crops. The cucurbits, which include gourds and melons like cucumbers, zucchini, summer squash, and watermelons, are high-speed growers. They are extremely sensitive to frost, but explode with growth once the soil warms up. Direct sow the seeds into the planting beds, and they will germinate incredibly fast, taking only 3 to 5 days. Remember to set up a sturdy trellis for cucumbers right at the time of sowing to avoid damaging their roots later on. Zucchini and cucumbers yield very early, taking only 45 to 60 days. So be prepared to harvest continuously every day once the plants hit their peak fruiting stage. For the nightshades, such as tomatoes, eggplants, and bell peppers, seedlings are key. They need a long growing season to accumulate the energy required to flower and set fruit. Instead of sowing seeds from scratch, April is the time you should transplant pre-grown seedlings that are about 15 to 20 centimeters tall directly into the ground. Tomatoes need to be planted deeply, right up to their first set of true leaves, to stimulate roots to grow along the buried stem. Depending on the variety, you will start picking your first ripe fruits 65 to 85 days after moving the seedlings into the garden. Finally, do not forget the heat champions like okra and sweet potatoes. The higher the temperature and the harsher the sun, the stronger they grow. Direct sow okra seeds after soaking them in warm water overnight, and propagate sweet potatoes by planting slips into loose soil. Okra is ready to harvest in 50 to 60 days, while sweet potatoes require more patience, with tuber harvest coming after 90 to 120 days. The third step requires mastering the art of care through effective watering and fertilizing techniques. For watering, apply the infrequent but deep principle. The most common mistake gardeners make is lightly watering the surface every day, causing the plant roots to grow shallowly near the surface, where they will practically be boiled by the summer heat. Instead, water heavily so that the moisture penetrates deeply down to 15 to 20 centimeters, maintaining a frequency of just 2 to 3 times per week. This method forces the plant roots to plunge deep into the lower soil layers in search of groundwater, creating a robust, resilient root system capable of withstanding droughts. Always water early in the morning so the foliage dries off before nightfall. When it comes to fertilizing, providing the right nutrients at the right time is essential. During the vegetative stage in the first 4 weeks, plants need a lot of nitrogen to develop lush branches and leaves, which you can supply with a balanced organic fertilizer, worm casting tea, or fish emulsion. Once the flowering and fruiting stage begins from week 5 onwards, and you see the first flower buds appear, immediately cut back on nitrogen. Switch to fertilizers rich in phosphorus and potassium, such as bone meal, composted banana peel tea, or bat guano, to stimulate abundant blooming, increase the fruit set ratio, and give the fruits a richer, sweeter flavor. The fourth step is crucial for maintaining a healthy crop: implementing organic pest control strategies. The warm April weather awakens the garden, and naturally, it awakens the insects as well. Instead of reaching for toxic chemicals, apply a multi-layered ecological defense strategy through companion planting. Nature has a wonderful way of protecting itself, so interplant marigolds, basil, and yarrow around your tomato and cucumber beds. The strong essential oils from these plants will scramble the radar of aphids and whiteflies, while simultaneously attracting armies of beneficial predators like ladybugs and parasitic wasps. For direct pest management of aphids and whiteflies, which often cluster on the undersides of young leaves, use a strong blast of water from your hose to wash them off early in the morning. If the infestation is heavy, mix insecticidal soap with a few drops of neem oil and thoroughly spray both sides of the leaves in the cool, late afternoon. For larger pests like hornworms and caterpillars, the most effective method is hand-picking them in the early morning or at dusk. If you have a larger garden, you can spray a biological control called BT, Bacillus thuringiensis, a naturally occurring bacteria that only targets leaf-eating caterpillars and is completely harmless to humans and pets. Gardening in April in Zone 10 is an exciting race against time, where your meticulous preparation will be rewarded with heavy baskets of fresh produce in the coming months. Start by loosening your soil, selecting sun-loving varieties, practicing deep watering, and observing your garden daily. Nature always knows how to handsomely reward dedicated hands. Thank you for reading, and keep growing with Grow Smart Garden.